The past 2 years of learning to live with COVID-19 has been challenging, but Maritime has remained relevant and resilient. This can be attributed to the close cooperation between the public and private sectors, augmented by a skilled, committed, and resourceful talent pool that has kept the industry moving ahead despite tremendous challenges. The Singapore Maritime Foundation, as a strategic conduit between public and private sectors, has been stepping up in its role to strengthen Singapore as a leading international maritime center and to develop talent to drive the transformation of the industry.
It's been a privilege to be associated with SMF for 8 years and for the past 6 years as chairman. Shipping is a collegial industry, and Singapore is a particularly closely networked community. The public sector works with the private sector, and private sector players know each other and work well together on common issues, such as when key players recently rallied to form a global decarbonization center here. The Singapore Maritime Foundation perfectly embodies that spirit, public and private working hand in hand, addressing industry needs and connecting players on topics like talent pipeline and decarbonization. It's hard to talk about highlights in the context of the rough couple of years we've been through with COVID, but it has always impressed me how many initiatives and connections that SMF is working on at any given time. Even during a pandemic, SMF managed to host a conference, complete a decarbonization report, it raised the number of scholarships awarded, set up career fairs, and arranged a digital challenge. Such actions have helped to position Singapore as a leading maritime hub, and I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the team for their hard work and to all our partners from industry, the unions, MPA and shipping associations that have worked to maintain Singapore's standing. Speaking with my business hat on, it's why we have found this a great place to anchor our group. Please continue to help SMF as you have been doing, and please stay safe.
Maritime is an industry that is rapidly transforming, embracing the environmental, social, and governance agenda, and using technology to accelerate towards a digital future. Successfully navigating the transformation means enhancing the core tenets that attract and anchor world-leading companies to Singapore, and offering new value propositions so that they can use Singapore as a springboard to connect with the global marketplace, create innovation, and nurture a talent hub.
Maersk has been active in Singapore for almost 50 years. Today we call Singapore our home away from home. Basically our presence here is built on 3 pillars. The first pillar is competitiveness. The fact that we here in Singapore have competitive rules and attractive tax system for shipping. This combined with ease of doing business and access to a cluster of shipyards, maritime services, etc. The second pillar is stability. We have a government here that pursues a consistent and long-term maritime policy. And that policy is executed by competent institutions, not at least MPA. This is a very attractive fact of Singapore. Then we have rule of law and zero corruption, and that's also very important to Maersk. The third pillar, the last pillar, is access to talent. Access to Singaporean and international talent that has an international mindset, that are well educated. That is the foundation for Maersk's presence here in Singapore. Furthermore, Singapore can help the industry with addressing what is probably the biggest challenge in our lifetime, decarbonization. Singapore is a huge flag state. It's a significant bunkering hub, and with a very diverse maritime ecosystem, Singapore is in an excellent position to play the role as a maritime sandbox for testing of new technologies.
Having invested in building a comprehensive and complementary ecosystem, Maritime Singapore is now taking the next leap forward, offering more innovative services to distinguish itself in a world where competition is keener than ever before.
To set ourselves apart from the competition and enhance our name as a global hub port, PSA Singapore will need to do more than a go-to port for connectivity, service excellence, and reliability standards. It needs to move from a node to a network. It needs to be an ecosystem that addresses cross-border in an integrated supply chain and feature all three flows of physical, regulatory, and financial. Thus, besides providing good quality service to the container vessels that come alongside our berths in Singapore, we need to provide cargo solutions to cargo owners. What do I mean by that? Over the last few years, PSA has gained traction in understanding BCO's pain points, and we have been able to design bespoke and varied solutions to value add and address the needs of BCOs across different verticals. PSA Cargo Solution was formed 3 years ago to offer a unique combination of POP Plus initiatives and a greater range of physical and digital supply chain services that neither traditional port operators nor 3PLs or 4PLs offer. One of which is the new strategic corridor, the International Land Sea Trade Corridor, with both rail links between Chongqing and Qingzhou, as well as with shuttle services between Qingzhou and Singapore. Shippers can now enjoy through bill of lading directly from Chongqing to any parts of the world via the Singapore hub. Apart from physical solutioning, we have also engaged the maritime logistics community and key stakeholders in collaboration to build a synergistic digital platform and a supply chain ecosystem of the future. Moving forward, cargo solutions will feature prominently in our next generation port at Tuas, where we envisage it will not just be a mega port. We envision that Tuas supply chain ecosystem will work intrinsically with cargo solutions in both physical and digital forms.
For the past years, we are actually preparing and transiting to shipping 4.0, in my view. This is still a big question mark. So what is the future of shipping? Do we already know all the pieces required beyond digitalization and decarbonization? How autonomous will shipping be? What energy will propel ships in the future? So this is further accelerated during the COVID pandemic, where contactless and remoteless operations do help balance efficiency and public health risks. And we can see already that the effects of climate change have also never been felt more severely than before. And it has triggered a lot of global action, such as what we've seen in the recent COP26 and at the national levels. So I'm really excited about what is yet to come. Look at, first, innovation. Through the ecosystem, Pier 71 and initiatives like the Smart Port Challenge, we have seen many companies and startups blossom. Look at Skylab, Gleetrees, EduField, and Performance Rotors. They continue to do well, and with some even having expanded their operations overseas. The next, second topic is really about decarbonization. Now we have set up the Global Center for Maritime Decarbonization. It comprises MPA and 6 founding industry partners. Together with the industry, we develop solutions across the value chain. And of course, there's also the MESD, Maritime Energy and Sustainability Development Center of Excellence. Adding together as an ecosystem, we can help spur the movement to help develop innovative and sustainable solutions. Third key point, digitalization. Telemedicine technology is available to provide prompt medical care to seafarers. Now we need to overlay physical connectivity with digital connectivity, such as the Digital Port at SG and Digital Oceans. And we are very excited about these developments moving forward. Shipping is really at yet another inflection point. We need to navigate through key topics beyond maritime. We need to think climate change, we need to think technologies, digitalization, supply chains, pandemics. And these are all global topics affecting shipping. So I think we all need to get ready for Shipping 4.0 and find a real solution in the next few years.
Over the past year, the Singapore Maritime Foundation has been gearing itself to support the industry as it navigates the next inflection point. It stands ready, as it has before, to be a trusted partner between government and industry, and to create pathways and platforms to grow the maritime ecosystem.
Singapore has been a pillar of strength for global shipping companies providing excellent maritime services. Its reliability, its resilience have been tested and proven time and time again, including during the recent pandemic, facilitating crew change and seafarers vaccination. With Singapore as our corporate HQ, PCL and the Quad Maritime Group have certainly benefited, and we appreciate the work of the relevant agencies, industry players and partners to continually make business happen. Since its founding in 2004, Singapore Maritime Foundation, SMF, has established itself as an effective conduit between the public and the private sectors. The leadership never rests on its laurel, each term bringing new vigor, new energy to drive maritime ecosystem competitiveness. Taking over as the chairman of SMF, I'm excited to build upon the stellar work of my predecessors and shape SMF's contribution to the industry. Today, maritime is on the cusp of another wave of transformation, and I'm convinced that Singapore has an important role to play in a new maritime world and global supply chain, and SMF will do our part in Maritime Singapore to respond to these changes. At the heart of this transformation, it's people and talent. In the years ahead, SMF will make talent a key centerpiece of our work. That means attracting talent, engaging talent, and growing talent. Maritime Singapore Reimagined is a vibrant talent and knowledge hub, tapping on our tremendous educational and skills infrastructure, commercial marketplace, and a growing maritime innovation ecosystem. Our industry is operating in a more complex global environment, and the ever-evolving COVID-19 pandemic has catalyzed some mega trends that were already underway. Trends such as digitalization, decarb, sustainability, all have gained substantial momentum and are influencing our needs for manpower, new competencies, and skill sets. These are significant shifts that Maritime Singapore can make important contributions to, and SMF will step up on engagements to stay attuned and involved in the industry's evolving talent needs. In addition to talent, we will also focus SMF's work around the themes of connectivity and innovation to ensure Singapore's linkage to the whole global maritime industry and continue to strengthen Singapore's position as a leading international maritime centre. I'm convinced that for Maritime Singapore, the best is yet to come. SMF will work closely with our Maritime One partners and the industry to maximize the collective impact of our work as we navigate the new world before us and continue to co-create a vibrant and dynamic Maritime Singapore.
Singapore's maritime heritage dates back 700 years, but our first modern container terminal only came online in 1972. That year, Singapore welcomed our first container vessel, the MV Nihon. Today, 50 years later, Singapore is a global hub port and international maritime centre. The next chapters will be spurred on by technology and sustainability, and it is talent that will drive that transformation. SMF, as a conduit between the public and private sectors and as a connector of the maritime ecosystem, will play its part to support Singapore's transformation by collaborating with the industry and by drawing passionate and committed talent to write the next chapters of growth.